Hey everyone, welcome back to AMS Automotive Evolution North America. I'm here with Paul Stevens, who's the manufacturing transformation lead at Ford Motor Company. We just had a great keynote and panel talking about some of the opportunities at Ford's Blue Oval City, for example, to really starting with a blank canvas, transform manufacturing. Paul, with that responsibility to drive transformation and innovation in Ford's manufacturing, can you tell us a bit about one of your key priorities in achieving that?
Sure. Yeah. So just across the industry, culture is a huge way that we drive innovation, an enabler to ensure that we have a creative mindset and that we're empowering people to act on that and to transform their operations. So this is just a Ford issue. This is an industry-wide constraint that we need the right mentality, the right talent, the right people together, and the right culture in the workplace in order to make that happen. So having that innovative culture is enabling sites like Blue Oval City to really thrive and to think outside the box when it comes to the processes, the layout, the ability to have an all new perspective on building a vehicle that creates a low cost electric vehicle for the customer.
And that comes then with ways of, I suppose, analyzing the problems you want to solve, the data of the different technologies as well.
Yeah, I'm a big proponent that we need to be innovating to solve problems, not just chasing technology for technology's sake. And so when I look at a constraint, I look at what's the root of the problem and how can technology be used to fill that need and to really bridge the gap. So that's real innovation. It's taking the constraint, the company's problem, and it's finding technology to meet that solution. And if you can make that happen with the right culture, the right people, then you're geared up for success as an industry.
Absolutely. One of the unique things about Blue Oval City is Ford is developing new vehicles platforms in parallel with the plants. So this is a sort of opportunity to align those things. What sort of opportunities does that bring Ford?
Sure. Well, that's a huge opportunity for Greenfield in general. When you're working with brownfield sites, there's constraints. You have layout constraints, you have legacy costs that are prohibitive to making fundamental revolutionary changes to your process in some cases. And so with the Greenfield approach, you have a clean sheet of paper. It's an amazing opportunity to look at what problems we've had in the past and to adapt the process and layout to fix those problems for the future and invest in technologies that might be radical in nature in a brownfield environment, but are very robust, very efficient in a greenfield environment, especially when you're talking about the product teams working with the manufacturing teams. Connected vehicle is a big one. Across the industry, connected vehicle is key towards the next generation of automotive manufacturing. So that's why we're seeing in the industry so much in this space to work through how does the vehicle connect to the manufacturing process to enable a very robust, high quality output at the end of the line.
Which is a really important point, because there, the vehicle itself could be, validating that the parts are correct and the software, of course, is correct. So that role of the vehicle in production itself is really interesting. If you were to think about some of the areas that can be streamlined, because for sure that's part of this innovation as well. Are there examples you would point to compared to today where you see the opportunity to streamline?
Sure. Yeah, there's a variety of opportunities, and I know we went through a few earlier today that are not just unique to a particular company, but are facing the entire industry. But any non-value added activity really needs to be looked at. We are looking to not only reduce complexity and reduce the number of variants of different parts to have a smaller footprint, but the industry needs to look at all sources of inefficiency. A good example of this is automated logistics. We see a lot of movement in the space of automated logistics for autonomous mobile robotic technologies that are enabling a new way of delivering material to the manufacturing site and in the manufacturing operation that's cutting out non-value added content. And it is creating a more efficient operation altogether.
It's a great example, and that's something we look forward to seeing a lot more of. And if you were to point, I totally take your point that innovation not just for technology's sake, solving problems. But again, are there technologies that are starting to emerge as really key to solving some of those problems? You just cited one in autonomous logistics. Are there others you would point to?
Yeah, well, a lot of them are enabled by the connected vehicle. So the ability to build a vehicle right the first time, and especially with advanced architectures, a lot more connectors and harnesses are in next generation vehicles. And so the ability to have that vehicle connect to the automotive assembly process is really important to be able to unlock more innovation in that space.
So finally, Paul, our main focus today with you in the panel and here is on the Greenfield. But Ford has, over the last few years, been producing EVs in a number of facilities. The Rouge Electric Vehicle Center just down the road here in Dearborn, the Mustang Mach-E. What are some of the lessons, or are there lessons that you're taking from those existing or new plants, what you're bringing to the Greenfield facilities?
Sure, yeah. So that's an advantage of having so many robust manufacturing operations that are already in the portfolio, is you can learn what you're doing right at these plants and carry over those into the new facilities. And the reality is that demand for EVs are so strong across the industry that you need your existing facilities in order to power the future. And so there's not an either or here. There's a together. That a company is not just Ford, but General Motors and Stellantis and all companies that are really diving into EVs across the industry are not just enabling new field or greenfield facilities, but are looking at brownfield sites too, and how can we take learnings from those sites and incorporate them into the new production sites.
Fantastic. Well, those are exactly some of the lessons that we're sharing here at AMS Automotive Evolution North America, and of course across AMS. Paul, it's been such a pleasure to have you here sharing those insights on the culture and the technologies at Ford. We look forward to keeping up with you and Ford on this journey, and we'll share a lot more to come. Thanks very much.
Chris.
Thank you.